So here JDBC. JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. So basically you can connect all kinds of databases with your Java code. So here JDBC API is a Java API that allows you to connect and access all kinds of tabular data, especially data which is stored in this relational database. In our examples, we have seen how you can connect your Java code with MySQL database. So let's try to understand how this Java database connectivity works, or what is the broad level architecture of this connectivity. So the one end of this architecture is your Java code, and another end of this architecture is your database. Database can be in SQL Server, Oracle, or MySQL, or any kind of database that you would like to connect with your Java application. So for all your databases, there is a unique JDBC driver. So a JDBC driver for MySQL, JDBC driver for SQL Server, JDBC driver for Oracle. So you will have a unique JDBC driver for your database. Now all these kinds of drivers are then managed by this JDBC driver manager. So basically you will not be interacting with these drivers directly. Your Java application interacts with this JDBC API. This API then interacts with this driver manager. Then whatever kind of database you want to connect, this database driver manager will interact with appropriate JDBC driver, and then that driver will be linked with your database physically, and accordingly you can access your database from your Java code. So the flow is like your Java application, it interacts with the API then interacts with this driver manager. Depending upon the database to which you want to connect, this database driver manager will interact with the appropriate driver, and that appropriate driver will be then linked with your database. This is the broad level architecture for your Java database connectivity. Now there are few JDBC components like this driver manager, driver, connection. All these classes we have used while connecting your Java code with the database. So this driver manager, so as we have studied in this architecture, this is your driver manager. So driver manager is a class which manages a list of database drivers, as we have discussed here. So driver manager sits here and it manages all kinds of your drivers. So the database to which you want to connect, so database driver manager will select appropriate driver and it manages it. So driver manager is a class which manages a list of database drivers. Driver, this interface handles the communication with the database server. Now as you can see here, so driver basically interacts with your database. So basically this kind of a interface, this driver interface, it communicates with your database server. You will interact directly with your driver objects very rarely. You will interact drivers with very rarely. Instead you use driver manager objects, and that driver manager it manages the interaction with your database. Driver manager will interact with the various kinds of drivers, and those drivers will interact with the database. Then connection. Now this interface with all the methods for contacting a database. Now what happens if after connecting to the database, the connection object represents communication context, that is all communication with the database is through this connection object only. So your Java code interacts with your Java API interacts with your database driver manager will interact with your driver will then create appropriate connection object, and using this connection actual queries, execution and retrieval of results and communication between your driver and your database takes place. Then statement. Statement is a class which you use to create, to submit the SQL statements to the database. When you want to submit the query to the database, then you need the help of this statement class. Result set. Result set means when you execute your SQL query and whatever data you retrieve from the database, that retrieved data from the database gets stored in this result set object, and then you can access this result set object, and accordingly you can perform your operations in your Java code. An obvious SQL exception, this class will handle any errors that occur in database application. It will throw an SQL exception. Now, how to create your JDBC application? There are few simple steps. First, you import the packages. For importing it, use this import java.sql.star. Then you need to register the driver. Then you need to register your driver. After registering and you need to open a connection. So for registering the driver, you have used that syntax, that class.forName. This particular method, it helps you to load and register the driver, JDBC driver. Open a connection. Using this driver manager.getConnection methods, here you will provide your path of your database, the user ID and password to connect. Accordingly, the connection gets opened between your for your database. Then you create a statement object, and using that statement object, you execute a query. After executing a query, you can retrieve the data and save it in the result set object. And once you save the data in the result set object, you can after processing, you can close the connection. So this is a simple steps by which you can connect your Java code with the database. Say importing the package, registering the driver, open the connection, create statement, execute query, get the data and close the connection. So these are few simple steps using which you can access the database. So import java.sql.star, it will import all the packages, all the classes related to your database so that you can access it. Register your JDBC driver. Here we have seen class.forName syntax. So using class.forName, you can load and register this particular driver. Now, since we have used MySQL database for the practice purpose, so instead of this driver, we have used MySQL driver. So whichever database you want to connect to your Java code, the appropriate driver you need to mention over here, and the same driver will be loaded and it will be dynamically loaded and it will be connected. It will be registered so that you can use it with your Java code. So class.forName. So class.forName method is there to load and register your appropriate driver. Then after you have loaded the driver, now you want to establish the connection with your database. So for establishing the connection, there is a driver manager dot get connection method. It has these three different formats. Either you can only provide the URL and some properties, URL, user ID and password. In all our practical purposes, we have seen this syntax. So what is this URL? This URL is an address that points to your database. Where is your database? It is in localhost, so you can provide that localhost path, or wherever your database is there, you can provide this database path, the username and password, so that your Java code can communicate with your database. So this is driver manager dot get connection. So here we have summarized few drivers name and their format for your ready reference. Say for MySQL, you can use this as a driver name. For Oracle, you can use this as a driver name. For DB2 and Sysbase, you can use this driver name and this as your URL path. Replace this database name with your actual database name. In our practical purpose, we have created demo as a database, so we have replaced this database name with a demo or sample, whatever is your database name. You can replace this this text with your database name, actual database name, so that all your queries will, say, insert query, update query will be taken care, will go inside that database, and it will work there. So this is how you can give URL, user ID and password. So this is your URL. Here it is operating on this EMP database. You can write your database name. Here it is operating the username and the password, and you have supplied it over here like this. So driver manager dot get connection will help you to establish your connection with your database. Now how to execute? Once the connection has been established, now you create a statement object. Now using this statement object, you can execute your SQL statement, and for executing your SQL statement, these three methods are there. So this result set execute query, it returns a result set object. Use this method when you expect to get a result set. So normally when you execute your select statement, select query, like select star from table, select so and so columns from table where condition is this. So when you normally execute a select kind of a query, you should use this execute query syntax. Whereas you expect rows in return. So those data which gets returned will be stored in this result set object. Normally for insert, update and delete kind of a statements, you can use this execute update function, which returns an integer value. It returns the number of rows affected by the execution. One row is affected, two rows is affected, one row is saved, second row is saved. Okay, so number of rows it returns. Execute, normally you can use this execute function. It returns a boolean value of true or false. True if a result set object can be retrieved, otherwise it returns a false. So you can use this method. Use this method to execute SQL DDL statements, or when you need to use truly dynamic SQL queries. So depending upon the type of query that you want to execute, you can choose either of these methods. Using statement object, you can call either of these methods to actually execute your